All right, let's dive in. Today we're tackling Oedipus Rex. That's right, you gave us one of the most famous Greek tragedies ever written. Prophecy, plague, family drama, you name it, this play's got it.
And it's amazing how relevant it still is, thousands of years later, and we're still grappling with the same questions about fate, free will, the search for truth.
It really makes you think. So imagine this. Thebes is a mess. There's a plague going around, people are dying left and right.
Yeah, and they're looking to their king, Oedipus, to save the day. He's the strong leader, compassionate, known for his wisdom.
But that's where it gets interesting, right? Because he's almost too confident.
Exactly. Sophocles, the guy who wrote the play, he hints at Oedipus's tragic flaw right from the start, that unwavering confidence. It might just be a bit too much, like classic hubris.
Well, I see where this is going. So what does Oedipus do?
Well, he sends his brother-in-law, Creon, to consult the oracle at Delphi, figure out what's causing this plague.
Classic move. What does the oracle say?
The news isn't good. Basically, the plague is a punishment from the gods. Somebody murdered the former king, Laius, and nobody's been punished for it.
Oh, so they got to find the murderer to lift the curse.
Exactly. And that kicks off the whole central conflict of the play. But it's not just about finding a killer, right? It's about fate versus free will. Is Oedipus really in control, or is he just playing a part in some bigger cosmic plan?
Ooh, that's deep. And then there's the chorus.
Right, the voice of the people. They come in singing these incredibly powerful songs about the suffering in Thebes. The plague is just ravaging everything.
I can only imagine.
Think about it, lines like, the unripe fruits of the earth rot, and women die in childbirth. Sophocles really makes you feel the desperation of the situation.
Wow, and the crazy part is the chorus still has faith in Oedipus. They remember how he saved them from the Sphinx before. Talk about dramatic irony.
Oh, absolutely. The audience knows what's coming, but the characters are completely in the dark. It's what makes this play so gripping.
Okay, so Oedipus is determined to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
He even puts a curse on the murderer, whoever it is. He says, upon the murderer, I invoke this curse, whether he is one man and all unknown, or one of many, may he wear out his life in misery to miserable doom.
Chilling, isn't it? He has no idea he's cursing himself.
It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. But you know who shows up next? Tiresias, the blind prophet.
Ooh, yeah. And right away, there's this tension in the air. You've got reason versus prophecy clashing head on.
And Tiresias can't actually see, but he's got this deeper sight, right? Like he sees the truth that Oedipus is missing.
Exactly. It's this whole idea of blindness versus sight, which keeps popping up throughout the play. Oedipus thinks he can see everything clearly, but he's blind to the truth about himself.
And then comes the big reveal. Tiresias straight up tells Oedipus, you are the murderer you seek.
I bet Oedipus was not happy about that.
Not at all. He doesn't believe it for a second. Accuses Tiresias of being a traitor, making up lies.
But Tiresias doesn't back down, does he? He throws out these warnings that are just dripping with foreshadowing. He says, you have eyes, but see not where you are in sin, nor with whom you live, nor whom you have for father.
Talk about a reality check.
Right. Oedipus's world is about to be flipped upside down.
Back again with our deep dive into Oedipus Rex. And last time, we left off with Oedipus in complete shock after Tiresias dropped that truth bomb.
Oh yeah, he's definitely shaken. But still determined to prove the prophet wrong. He just can't wrap his head around the possibility that he could be the murderer.
So what, he thinks Tiresias is making it all up?
Pretty much. He starts throwing around accusations, even thinks his own brother-in-law, Creon, is plotting against him.
Whoa, that's intense.
Yeah, it shows how desperate Oedipus is to hold on to his image of himself as the hero, the savior.
But hold on. Don't we meet Jocasta in this part of the play?
Right. Oedipus's wife enters the scene, trying to cool things down. And remember, the audience knows she's also his mother, which adds this whole other layer of tragedy.
Oh man, the dramatic irony is killing me. So what does she say?
Well, she's basically like, relax, Oedipus. Prophecies aren't always reliable. She even brings up the old prophecy about Laius being killed by his own son. She says it didn't come true because Laius was murdered by bandits at a crossroads.
Wait a minute, a crossroads? Didn't Oedipus mention something about a crossroads?
Oh yeah, you're right. Oedipus remembers killing a man at a crossroads years ago before he came to Thebes. It's like a light bulb goes off in his head.
Suddenly, all those pieces Tiresias mentioned start fitting together.
Yeah.
Could he actually be the murderer?
It's a classic Sophocles move. Jocasta tries to calm Oedipus down, but she accidentally gives him the crucial clue that leads him to the truth. Dramatic irony at its finest.
So what does Oedipus do with this new information?
He's fixated on that crossroads incident now. wants to track down the surviving witness from Laius's murder, see if it was one man or a whole gang who attacked the king.
Because if it was just one man, that pretty much confirms it, right?
Exactly. Oedipus's determination, which was always his strength, starts to look more like an obsession at this point. He's so close to the truth, but it might destroy him.
And the chorus, they chime in here, right?
Yeah, they're like, hey, Oedipus, maybe pump the brakes a little. They basically warn him about getting too big for his britches, thinking he can control everything.
Smart move, chorus. But does Oedipus listen?
Of course not. He's on a mission. Can't stop now. And right then, a messenger shows up from Corinth.
Ooh, this is where things get even crazier.
The messenger's got news. Polybus, Oedipus's supposed dad, is dead.
So Oedipus is relieved, right? Thinks he's off the hook for that part of the prophecy.
Yeah, at first, but then he remembers the other part, about marrying his mother. That fear is still eating away at him.
I bet. And then I'm guessing the messenger drops the real bombshell.
You know it. He casually mentions that Oedipus wasn't actually Polybus's biological son. He was found abandoned as a baby.
Whoa, that changes everything.
Right. It's like the whole foundation of Oedipus's life just crumbles. Everything he thought he knew about himself is a lie.
So how does Jocasta react to this?
She figures it out instantly. The pieces click into place, and she realizes the horrifying truth. She's Oedipus's mother, and he's the one who killed Laius.
No way.
It's a devastating moment. She tries to stop Oedipus from digging any deeper, begging him to just let it go.
She knows it's going to destroy him, right?
Exactly. But Oedipus just thinks she's ashamed of his humble origins. He has no idea what she's really going through.
Tragic. What happens next?
Overwhelmed, Jocasta runs off to the palace, and Oedipus, still clueless, keeps demanding answers. He insists on talking to the shepherd who found him as a baby. You know, the one who can confirm everything.
Oh man, this is not going to end well.
And the chorus. They're watching this all unfold, singing about how no one can escape fate. They know it's coming, and it's not pretty.
Okay, so we're back. And things are not looking good for Oedipus. The shepherd just confirmed everything. Oedipus killed his father, Laius, and then married his own mother.
Yeah, the truth is out. The prophecy has come true. And it's just completely shattered Oedipus's world. I mean, he built his whole identity on being this great hero, the guy who saved Thebes.
And now he's the source of its suffering. What happens to Jocasta? We know she ran off to the palace.
Well, she can't live with the truth. Jocasta ends up taking her own life.
Oh man, that's just awful.
It really shows the weight of this revelation, the sheer horror of it all. But what's interesting is how Oedipus reacts. He doesn't try to escape through death.
He chooses a different kind of punishment, right?
Right. He takes the brooches from Jocasta's dress and, well, he blinds himself.
It's such a powerful image, isn't it? Physically blinding himself because he was so blind to the truth before.
Exactly. It's like the symbolic connection between sight and knowledge. Once he sees the truth, he can't bear to look at the world anymore.
And the chorus. I remember them reacting to this in a pretty intense way.
Yeah, they're horrified, of course, but there's also this sense that it's a fitting punishment, that Oedipus has to face the consequences of his actions.
It really drives home that theme of fate and the limits of human control, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Even Oedipus, the mighty king, couldn't escape what was destined for him.
So what happens next? What becomes of Oedipus after all this?
He begs Creon, who's now in charge, to banish him, which, fulfills the rest of that prophecy.
And he gets to say goodbye to his children.
Yeah, that scene is just heartbreaking. He's saying farewell to his daughters, knowing he'll never see them again. The consequences of his actions, they ripple outwards, affecting everyone around him.
Man, talk about a tragic hero.
Sophocles really knew how to wring out the drama, and as Oedipus is led away into exile, the chorus leaves us with this final thought. Count no man happy till he dies, free of pain at last.
Chilling. It makes you wonder, what does it even mean to be happy when fate can turn on you like that?
It's a question that's haunted people for centuries, and I think that's why Oedipus Rex is still so relevant today. It forces us to confront these big, uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world we live in.
Well, there you have it. Our deep dive into Oedipus Rex is complete. We covered a lot of ground today. Prophecy, fate, the search for truth, the consequences of our actions.
And don't forget the family drama. I mean, talk about a dysfunctional family.
Right. It's a play that stays with you long after you've finished reading it. So hopefully this deep dive has given you some new insights into Oedipus Rex, or maybe even inspired you to go back and read it again. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and we'll see you on our next deep dive.